In the Heights is a new film musical brought to us by Lin-Manuel Miranda, the creator of Hamilton, and directed by John M. Chu, who last directed Crazy Rich Asians. The story takes place in a town in New York called Washington Heights, and it focuses on its heavy Latino population. They have people from the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Puerto Rico, etc. And the story revolves around all these people who live in this small town, which they call the Heights, and primarily focuses on this character named Usnavi, who dreams of returning to the Dominican Republic, buying his dad's old bar, and kind of reliving that dream and returning to his homeland. Of course, there are complexities involved. There's romance, tragedy, etc. And you know what? I really enjoyed this movie a lot. And I'll start by saying that this film is a full-on musical. So the majority, I say about 90% of the dialogue and exposition is done through song and dance. So be prepared for that. If you're not a fan of musicals, then maybe this film might not be for you. But personally, I love musicals. I go to the theater to watch them all the time when I can. I love to watch film versions of musicals. So that's really up my jam, man. So I really was looking forward to this film, and therefore I really enjoyed the film a lot. The songs that are featured in this movie, I thought they really did a good job of telling the story through a very entertaining way through these song and dance numbers. And I guess all of that credit goes to Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'll be honest, I'm not really a fan of his because, well, I haven't seen Hamilton, so I can't really judge him based off of that. But from what I've seen on like talk shows and his acting bits from like Mary Poppins Returns, something about him just never really ticked for me. But I will say that his dialogue and his lyrics in this film were excellent, and they just were really efficient and effective in telling the story that they needed to tell through some very catchy numbers. And then, you know, you can have the best songs that you can write, but you gotta have a strong and visionary director to bring it to life. And that's exactly what director John M. Chu does. If you remember Crazy Rich Asians, that movie just had a lot of energy, was really vibrant, and the same goes for this movie. A movie like this, you gotta have that energy, and he totally brings it. Every dance number, some of them are like super large scale with like hundreds of extras dancing in the background. Those are really cool. Other song numbers were really more intimate with just one person singing to the camera, and those were done really well too. And the film just brings a whole lot of energy when it has to, and it tones it down when it has to as well. So yeah, director John M. Chu, he's really an up-and-coming director in Hollywood, and this, along with Crazy Rich Asians, pretty much puts him right up there at the A-list, in my opinion anyway. The cast, you know, I wasn't too familiar with, to be honest. There are some, you know, familiar faces from the past, like Jimmy Smits, who I just remember from LA Law. Was that like in the 80s? Holy crap, I'm old. And then there's that dude who played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton. And I think those were the only two faces I really recognized. So for me anyway, the majority of the main cast was, you know, fresh faces and new faces. And I really thought they did well. They were able to nail the dramatic acting scenes down. They were able to deliver their lines clearly and sing their lines clearly, as well as dance at the same time. So I thought that was really good. So the cast, yeah, was fresh. They were good, and they all have bright futures. You know, this film, it's a little bit long, I will say. It's 2 hours and about 25 minutes, whatever. But it didn't really feel long because the story just had a lot to tell. You know, you got this main guy who owns this bodega in the Heights, and he just dreams of more. And that's the underlying theme to this movie, is these dreams. They call them sueñitas, which are little dreams. And you know, that was just one of many themes and messages along through the movie. You have the messages of dreams, you have the messages of political justice, you have the messages of being an immigrant and trying to survive in a American world society, and all of those little pieces of story, you know, if not done well, they can become really convoluted and just kind of distract you. But somehow director John Chu and Lin-Manuel Miranda, they were able to harness all of these various storylines and themes and messages and make it all mesh together, which I thought was really, really well done. The film has comedy, drama, romance, tragedy. It basically has it all, and all tied up in a little musical package. So yeah, I had a really great time with this movie. I really enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again in the near future on HBO Max before they don't show it anymore. So yeah, I love this film a lot. I highly recommend it if you love musicals. So for me, In the Heights gets an 8 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching my review. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel MC on Film for more reviews in the future.